Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Ivana. If you are new here, if you're not, thank you so much for coming back. Today is Tuesday, March the 16th, and the big news today in Alabama is weather. I know if you have been keeping up with the news, then most of us are aware that severe weather is coming our way. Even if you haven't been keeping up with the news, you can probably look outside. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it is pouring here in downtown Birmingham. And so for that very reason, I brought on our own weather reporter, Leigh Morgan. Leigh is here to break down the forecast for us, tell us what we can expect, and give us some kind of do's and don'ts of severe weather preparedness. So Leigh, thank you so much as always for coming on, giving us a little bit of a look at what we're in store for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I know nobody really wants to see me because whenever they do, it's something bad coming. But we're looking at a pretty substantial threat of severe weather coming tomorrow on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. It's the first big time severe weather threat we've had in a while. Now, that's not to say we haven't had bad severe weather. We had that terrible tornado in Fultondale in January. But this is a wide scale event. No part of the state looks like is going to be spared by this, unfortunately. So what you're looking at here is the risk map from the Storm Prediction Center. They're outlining the areas where they think the greatest potential for severe weather will be. The areas in red have a moderate risk. That's a level 4 out of 5. So that's not something you see too often. A moderate risk means they define it as widespread severe storms are likely. So areas like Birmingham, Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Decatur, Florence, Talladega, any of those spots are in that moderate risk area. Now, the rest of the state is not off the hook either. There's an enhanced risk outside of that moderate risk, and then the rest of the state is in a slight risk. All of those areas have the potential to see severe storms. Now, we're talking about severe storms. We're talking about tornadoes. There could be some big tornadoes. We're talking the long track, strong tornadoes that unfortunately we see way too much here in Alabama. But there also could be damaging winds. Those wind gusts could be up to 80 miles an hour. That's hurricane force. We could see big time hail, golf ball up to the size of golf balls, and heavy rain. So all of this is going to be possible on Wednesday. Now, I know people are going to ask about timing. The timing, the severe weather looks like it could come in several waves, okay? If you're in North Alabama, you're going to have to be on guard first thing Wednesday morning. What we're looking at is a warm front that's kind of draped across the middle of the state right now. It's what's causing a lot of this rain that we're having in the central and southern parts of the state. In fact, it's causing some flash flooding in parts of southwest Alabama. There's several flash flood warnings out right now. They're concerned about that. But this is tomorrow. That warm front is supposed to lift northward, and as it does in the morning, it could kick off some severe storms. Now, that is mainly a concern for North Alabama, North Central Alabama. I'm
going to stop you for 2 seconds, Leigh, and ask you this. When I look at this map, I mean, I think about all of the times, I've worked with you on forecast stories and worked with you on forecasts, and the red area that something good about these maps, right, is that we're all kind of innately trained to think red is not good. When you see a map like this, you don't want to be in the red. Right. And unfortunately, in all of, the years that I've worked with you on things, the red has really not been this big, I don't think. I feel like the red area is normally a lot smaller. So is that something is that true? Is this a big area for a very severe threat?
It's a larger area than you probably normally see. And that indicates they have a little more confidence than they usually do that the potential is there for severe storms. Does it mean every place in that red area is going to see severe weather? No, it doesn't. But it means the potential there is higher for those storms to form and to really take off. Now, the thing is, if you're not in the red area, don't think you're out of the woods. There's been a lot of talk I've seen on social media about, don't worry, focus on the category. Well, you do need to focus on the category. It is important to determine your level of of risk, but just know that tornadoes and damaging winds, all those things are still going to be possible anywhere in the state, if you're in the moderate risk or not.
Now, something too that I want to talk about, and we'll go back to that map if somebody needs it in a minute. Y'all let me know if you need to see it again. But the do's and don'ts of severe weather. Now, we know that, again, if you're in especially central Alabama today, I don't know if you can hear it above me on this metal roof, but the rain is coming down, right? Now, if we are expecting severe weather tomorrow, whether that is flash floods, tornadoes, etc., what do we need to do, especially if you're in those high risk areas? What do we need to do to take steps to make sure that we are keeping ourselves and our families safe?
Well, that's a great question. Today is the day to prepare. Don't wait till tomorrow, especially if you're in North Alabama, because we don't know when these storms are going to get going. So today is the day to get your space ready. So what you need to do is make sure you have several ways to get a warning if it's issued. Now, this event is going to happen in several ways. It's not going to be storms all day. There could be some in the morning for North Alabama. There could be a second round in the afternoon that affects more of the state. And then there could be a final round in the evening to the overnight hours as a cold front pushes through. So we're looking at the possibility this could last overnight too. So it's really important to have a way that if we're not going to stay up and watch it, to be, to have something to wake you up if a warning is issued for your area. That is so important. Don't rely on an outdoor siren to wake you up. They are not designed for that, right? So, you could have your smartphone app. You could have your dad sitting up late to call you and tell you that something's happening. You could have a weather radio. Those things are wonderful for, they'll scare you half to death, but they will wake you up. Have multiple, not just one way, because one way could fail you, to make sure you are aware of what's going on around you. That's step number one. Step number two is have your place ready to go. Like, we've got a place in our basement that I need to go down after this and spray a can of Raid on and get it clean, get the spiders out and get our helmets set up and get ready to go. Make sure that's ready to go today. Have your cell phone charged, have some batteries and flashlights ready if you need them, because you could lose power. Just be ready. Have your shoes in case you need to, walk over debris if the worst comes to worst. Just have that safe space ready so you can go right to it. You don't have to stop and do anything, besides grab the dog and head down there. To be prepared. Now, another important thing is to know where you are. The National Weather Service has been really good to keep sending out maps of county that shows all the Alabama counties, all of them. You need to know, and a surprising number of people aren't exactly sure they're, where they are on a map. You need to know that, and you also need to know the counties directly west of you, because the storms more likely, especially along the cold front, will be coming from the west and moving toward the east, right? So you need to know your county, where you are in that county, and the counties to the west of you, so you know what's on the way. That can give you valuable minutes to get ready.
Now, I'm going to pull up that county map in a minute. We can talk about it. And I've been sitting here writing down these things that you have been listing, and we will put all of that up later on our social media account so everybody can make sure that they have that. But you said that number one, we need to have multiple ways to have these alerts. Now, I know you're a weather reporter. Now, I know you are very plugged in, obviously, to forecast and to weather. But for the average kind of person that maybe is not paying attention to NOAA and to all of these other National Weather Service, what is your best way, maybe your favorite apps or your favorite ways to get these weather alerts? I know I'm putting you on the spot there.
That's okay. Well, there's a ton of weather apps out there, and a lot of them are free that you can get right now and put on your smartphone, and they will alert you if a warning is issued for your area. So I highly recommend getting one of those that will sound an alarm and wake you, and alert you because I have several on my phone. It goes off like a firecracker when there's a warning for and they're all there. As long as it will have a storm alert that can alert you should be good. And then just pay attention to the forecast. You might be paying attention today and think you have it nailed down. Well, things can change from today to tomorrow. The timing could change. There's still some uncertainties about how this is all going to play out. So make sure you just keep an eye on the forecast both today and through the day tomorrow, because things can change. And, it's really important to tomorrow.
Right. And now I'm going to pull up that map again. I'm going to pull up a county map and we'll talk about that. But I think it's interesting. I have somebody saying here, how do people not pay attention? I have extremely severe weather anxiety. And I think, Amanda, a lot of people are in your boat, but I think there are equally maybe as many people who don't pay as close of attention or who do, like Leigh mentioned, rely on those outdoor sirens. We've heard a lot of kind of debate about those sirens. But Leigh, I know you say do not depend on that to wake you up, especially in the middle of the night.
Right. And I mean, they are helpful. They do serve a purpose, but they shouldn't be the thing you rely on, especially when you're inside, because they are not designed to be heard inside. And I'm like that person that commented, I have anxiety too. I mean, I think all of us that were here for the 2011 tornado season have that. I mean, it's and we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary here. It's just bringing back a lot of bad memories of a terrible time. And so, that's natural to feel that way, but we're all going to get through this. The more you prepare, I think that helps lessen the anxiety some. So just do all you can to be ready today. So say the worst happens tomorrow, you will be ready to go.
Now, I got Travis saying, is Marion County in the red? So I know this map that I've got pulled up here, this does not show you the county name, right? I've got a county name map I'm looking at side next to this that y'all can't see, where I can at least kind of give you an area. Marion County is in that red area because it is above and west of Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking again at some of these areas. Yes, Travis, Marion County is definitely in the red. Now, we know, Leigh, you said, look, don't just let your guard down because you are maybe in Huntsville. You're right outside of that red. You are in that orange area. You can still be affected by extremely strong storms, tornadoes, etc. So what do we need to do to prepare for the worst tomorrow? And what timing? I know it can change. Should we be prepared in the morning, in the afternoon? What's the best time outlook that you have at the moment?
Well, it depends on where you are. So if you're in North Alabama, I would be ready to go early Wednesday morning because there's a chance storms could fire up along the warm front, as early as 5 a.m. is what the National Weather Service in Huntsville is saying. So if you're in North Alabama, North Central Alabama, first thing in the morning, you need to be prepared. Then there could be 2 additional waves of storms during the day. The timing is still, like we said, uncertain, but there could be, in the heating of the day, more storms fire up in the afternoon hours. And it's really hard to tell you where that's going to happen because the environment is there, but it's going to be small scale things that determine where those storms form. So they'll be watching for a wave in the afternoon. And then the big thing to watch for is in the evening into the overnight hours, there's going to be a cold front approaching from the west. And they're expecting a line of storms, severe storms, most likely to develop along or ahead of that cold front. And that's also going to carry the risk of the big tornadoes as well. So that's going to push through later on Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. And it could last into the overnight hours, especially if you're in Eastern Alabama. We're talking Thursday morning, early Thursday morning.
So we're looking at tomorrow night, we're looking at something coming in from the west. So coming in from this west of Tuscaloosa, maybe the Lamar, Pickens, Sumter county area, coming in from that and moving towards the east, towards our Talladega and towards the eastern side, Randolph County, Cleveland County, Calhoun County. Is that fair?
Yeah, you're going to see a big line of storms moving from Mississippi and Tennessee eastward into Alabama. So you'll know it's coming. It's not going to be moving. They don't think it's going to be moving especially fast, which is good in a way that you can prepare for it, but really bad in a way that it prolongs the impacts and the heavy rain involved. But you'll know it's coming. You'll be able to see it progressing across the state. So, and that's really going to be that's the most probably certain that it's going to carry a punch to it. These afternoon storms where they form, we don't really know how that's going to play out, but the cold front is definitely one to be on guard for.
So is it fair to say that people will have a decent amount of warning, hopefully, before these storms get to their area?
Well, it depends. These afternoon storms that can just bubble up anywhere, they're going to depend on really small scale atmospheric features, right? So there's not one mechanism that's going to set them off, like a cold front coming through. So those are going to be a little harder to predict. So you need to kind of be on guard starting Wednesday afternoon, around lunchtime and on, for those to bubble up at any time. And then the cold front will be something you know is coming. So you'll have you should have, if you're paying attention, plenty of advance notice of it getting to your area.
I have this comment here from Missy, and Leigh, I think you're going to love it. She says, I'm prepping today, even though Chambers County is in the yellow, but she said you just never know about tornadoes.
That's exactly right. And like I was saying, you don't have to be, you could even be, not in the risk zone and have a tornado. You just don't know. But the environment over all of Alabama tomorrow is going to be very favorable for severe weather. So whether you're in the moderate risk, whether you're in the slight risk, it's still a possibility for your area. So don't let your guard down. And just keep an eye on the forecast all day tomorrow, because things could change, and they could change quickly.
Now, a question here from Allison about schools. Allison, we're going to be keeping up with that on AL.com. We're going to have all of your school closings or dismissals. When and if those come, we will have them on AL.com. And Leigh, I know you're going to keep us updated on that forecast. When
Yes.
can we expect an updated forecast from you?
Well, I'll keep an eye on things all day today, and then they will update the risk map, the Storm Prediction Center, here probably in the lunchtime hour. So we'll kind of see what their latest thinking is about what they're expecting for tomorrow. And then we'll keep an eye on it through the night, and then first thing in the morning, we'll be up and running, ready to go all day.
Well, Leigh, I know we will depend on you for the rest of the day today and then all day tomorrow for our latest forecast. I have one last question before I let you go, and it's from Tom. He says that he is planning a drive from North Carolina and to Huntsville on tomorrow. So is that a dangerous drive? Should people be on the roads tomorrow?
I would be real careful about that, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Depends on when you get there. But yeah, I would be extremely cautious if you got to be on the road tomorrow. It's not a great day to travel.
Leigh, thank you so much for all of your knowledge here. We're going to be depending on you a lot for the next 24, 48 hours, but we hope you and your family stay safe. Everybody watching, please stay safe. Start getting all of the things Leigh mentioned together. And again, I think as our boss always tells us, Leigh, you got to charge your phone, fuel up your car, do all of those things now, because you're not going to regret doing that.
Exactly.
Leigh, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Everybody watching, thank you. Have a good day.